So I've done quite a few things, but the last thing I want to do is I want to put a muzzle brake on there. So back to Carolina Shooter Supply, and I ordered a muzzle brake and a tap handle and stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Now before I do that, actually I want to show you what I used to cut the muzzle back. Just a Pittsburgh $5 special at Harbor Freight, but I did buy a new wheel for it, a stronger wheel that I could actually cut steel with, because the wheel that they have on this thing is softer than any metal I've ever known. So I replaced just the wheel for $2 from Do It Center, and it cut it fine. But one of the things that I did with it, it's a little bit different, I had to modify, is I shaved down the handle on both sides, on two sides. So when I would tighten it, I would make sure that I tightened it to where those flat sides line up with the sides of these things. That way I could get as close to to the shroud, the sight block, as possible. So that gave me an extra millimeter or two. You want to get approximately 18 to 20 millimeters from the tip of the barrel. That's how much thread you want to be able to cut. So you want to get as close as possible, and that helped. I think I'm at 17.5 millimeters, so I'm almost there, but I'll have enough threads for the muzzle brake, and it should be fine. Anyhow, so that's just a little tip. If you want to get close with a pipe cutter and you want to spend $80 on an annular cutter, then get a pipe cutter, shave down the sides, and get it as narrow as possible, and that way you can get close to that sight block. Alright, let's open up this box, see what we got. Alright, let's see here. I'm really happy with Carolina Shooter Supply. They are fast. It's like 2 or 3 days shipping, and it's just great. I mean, that's, you know how it is. When you buy something new, you're super excited, and that's all you can think about. It's like Christmas, and so if it gets there quick, man, it just, that delayed gratification sometimes is overrated. I want it now. Alright, let's see what it came with. Got some Pro Tap oil. I use Odie dark thread oil. You can see where it is on there, and make sure you're not missing anything. Packaging slip. Alright, cool. Here's the muzzle brake and some crush washers, and the thread alignment tool right there. That's important. Tap, of course, and it's a 14x1 left-handed tap, and it's adjustable. That's nice, because I think my barrel's a little thick. That's what she said. Anyhow, crush washers. So that's what's in the box. Here's what's left of the muzzle shroud. It's about 17 millimeters, like I said before, just shy. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Maybe. Alright, they came out pretty good, but I want to stress to you guys, you got to measure correctly, otherwise things will just look wrong. So the threading inside of this Tapco slant muzzle brake is about 13.5 millimeters deep. Okay, so that's about all you can get it on to a threaded barrel, about that deep. We take a look here. If I would have gone any further cutting that shroud off, then I'd be stuck. There's a gap there that is approximately, let me calibrate this thing, 2.5 millimeters or so. 2.45, 2.49, so it's 2.5 millimeters. Well, guess what? With a crush washer, it lands me right there, perfect, exactly where I'd want it, which is nice. That's going to be helpful with the crush washer on there. But you got to measure correctly. So what I would suggest to you guys, knowing or assuming that Tapco makes their slant muzzle brakes to specs, to a certain spec, I would I think where I've landed is perfect. Where you want to cut right about 16.5 millimeters or so. You could go 17 and still be safe, but let's just call it 16.5. 16 to 16.5. If you cut that much of your shroud off, I think you'll be set with the crush washer. It actually fits quite nicely. So that's pretty simple. All I'm going to do now is run a bore snake through the bore, make sure I didn't get any of the chips in there. Clean it out nicely. Clean up the thread here. I'm probably just going to paint. You can see here, it's the finish is worn from the pipe cutter wheels rolling around that as I was cutting the shroud off. Alright, I decided to paint that marring spot right here from the pipe threader wheels. Anyhow, what I use on my Saiga is just this Krylon high heat. I mean, if I was doing the whole gun, then I'd probably Cerakote it or something like that, but little spot paint jobs. I use this stuff. It's the right color. It works well. I use it on the undercarriage after removing the what was that? The trigger guard plate that came with the rifle when I did the trigger job. So this stuff works great. It's high heat. It's on the end of the barrel, so it should withstand any rapid fire or anything like that, or sustained fire. You can't really rapid fire with this unless you're bump firing it, but anyhow, that should work. Let's I've already give it a couple more shakes. Shake it, don't break it. And where's my rag? We'll test real quick. I think I just sprayed it all over the floor. And let me get underneath. Alright. That should work. Let it dry. I don't think I'll put a second coat. Last time I didn't need to on the undercarriage. I just put one coat and it's fine. And if it wears off, I could just spray it again. So I'll let that go. Pull off my tape because I'm done. I don't want to do any more painting. Interesting tape job. I don't know. Got a little crazy with it. Probably got paint everywhere. It's alright. My wife doesn't even notice that kind of stuff. Some people's wives notice things, notice everything, but I'm actually the picky one. I'm the detail-oriented one. She's the artsy one. So I notice things she doesn't, which is great. It's wonderful. I can get away with murder. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. Ah, I'm gonna mess up my paint job. Alright, cool. And I don't know where this guy ended up. Maybe on the bottom. So I'll probably just throw the jam nut. I can't get that. I got no fingernails to bite the crap out of them. Anybody else out there bite their fingernails? Huh? Yeah? Bunch of anxious people. When we're God-fearing, we're not supposed to be anxious, but apparently that's one of the challenges he's given me, so I have to rely on him. I get anxious and bite the crap out of my fingernails, and then they hurt, and then it's cold outside. Well, not in California. Right now it's like 72 degrees in December, but then it's cold outside, and you go to do work, and you're like, oh, I can't, it hurts. But anyhow, that looks good, right? Same color? Look at that. No difference. Russian paint job, American paint job. Looks the same. Imagine that. Got my Loctite. Got my $10 Gerber. Thing's sharp though. It's lightweight, skeletonized. Works. What's up with blue Loctite being in a red or a red tube? Does anybody know the answer to that? I think it's one of those mysteries that will go unsolved. This guy on there. Alright. Man, I hope I can get that over another quarter of a turn. That little line right there, I don't know if you can see it on there, but that little line is supposed to be straight up and down, so it's a solid quarter turn. Ah, son of a... Close enough. Slanted. It is slanted. I marred the crap out of that. That pisses me off. I'll do a little sanding and just spray it. We'll be good to go. Alright, it's almost straight up and down. Pretty close. I'll work on it. Alright, so I went ahead and I painted that muzzle brake. You can still see some marring, a little bit of marring on that, whatever. It's black, just like the rest of the frickin' rifle. So, we're good to go. I think I am done with my conversion. That's it, boys and girls. So my next video, I'm going to get myself out to Hodge Road and do some shooting with this thing. I haven't shot it. I haven't shot it since I've been messing with it. I'm just dying to do so. So a lot of fun, great project, lots of stippling with my daughters. Stippled the handguard here. That was a lot of fun. They stippled this, did some silly creative designs. I reworked the safety so that's nice and smooth. New stock on it, all kinds of stuff, sling on it. So we're ready to go. It's ready to be shot. So I'll get out there to Hodge Road up in Victorville, and we'll go shoot some steel and run around. Maybe you'll see me trip and fall flat on my face. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Thanks for following. You can subscribe, do whatever. I don't know how this YouTube stuff works, but I'm having fun. I want to wish you all a happy new year. I trust that your Christmas was wonderful as mine, and I will look forward to bringing you along on the next adventure. God bless you all, and keep shooting.